it's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bull sometimes, and you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up, oh, Simba, get on board, 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 get on board.
If you get aggravated, you're feeding into
Made a
what
lie
he's
and said
accusing you
that
of.
I tried to hurt myself. Chosen Wilkins.
An actor known for his role in the hit television series Empire is facing charges. Bryshere Gray has an assault and battery charge in Chesapeake.
Terrence Howard has recently begun speaking openly about what he claims happened to Bryshere Gray behind the scenes in Hollywood. According to him, the reality of Bryce's experience may be even more troubling than what Jaguar Wright has already suggested. For years, Terrence has been outspoken about what he sees as the exploitation of young black men in the entertainment industry. From what is now being discussed, he believes Bryce was drawn into environments he didn't fully understand, guided by people he trusted. Terrence has hinted that he tried to step in once he realized what was happening, but by then, the harm had already been done. Online discussions claim that Bryce was not only taken advantage of professionally, but was also left emotionally and mentally unstable. Some say that after being used and then cast aside, he was gradually exposed to destructive influences and quietly pushed out of the industry. Over time, many began to sense that something was seriously wrong, especially as Bryce started facing repeated arrests. A major incident occurred in 2020 when he was arrested in connection with a domestic violence case involving his wife. Reports described a serious altercation, followed by a lengthy standoff with police before he was taken into custody. The case shocked many, not only because few knew he was married, but also because of how different and visibly troubled he appeared in his booking photos. He served time, and not long after, he was arrested again and later convicted in another assault case involving a different woman. At that point, public opinion largely shifted toward viewing Bryce as simply a violent individual. That perception began to change, however, when Jaguar Wright offered a different narrative. She alleged that Bryce had been brought into the orbit of powerful industry figures at a young age, including Diddy and Will Smith, under the label of mentorship, suggesting that his later struggles were tied to what he experienced within those circles.
Bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
According to her, those circumstances reportedly put Bryce in situations that went far beyond normal professional mentorship. Jaguar later added that Bryce's former manager, Charlie Mack, who started working with him when he was only 17, allegedly worked closely with Bryce's mother, Andrea Mayberry, in making choices that brought him into contact with influential figures in the industry.
Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'm going to kick you in your and I'm going to go to work North Philly style. Kill. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life, and what you had to do with it. You see, I'm sorry.
Jaguar stated that Andrea once came to her for guidance about Bryce, and she urged her to pull him away from Charlie Mack, whom she described as the main link between Bryce and Diddy. According to Jaguar, that warning was not acted on, and Bryce continued moving within those same circles. She also alleged that Bryce had been working for some time on preparing a lawsuit.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the fuck away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is, she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gate. You and Charlie.
But that it has not yet been formally filed. She implied that this possible legal move could be the reason, in her view, that the industry is trying to damage his cutability by drawing heavy attention to his move into adult content work and portraying him as unstable before he can speak out. She also claimed that there may be recorded evidence involving several well-known figures.
Trying to slap him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filial. You're a bigger hole than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
She went on to claim that a recording allegedly exists from one of these gatherings, said to involve figures such as Justin Bieber, Jaden Smith, Diddy, Will Smith, and Bryshere. According to her, the existence of such material could be used to intimidate or humiliate Bryce and discourage him from moving forward with a lawsuit against Diddy, particularly over what he says happened involving Will and Diddy while Jaden and Justin were also present. Jaguar then expressed deep concern about how Bryce was handled as a minor, criticizing the adults around him for allowing him to be placed in harmful situations despite knowing about his mental health struggles. She questioned the role of his mother in management, suggesting that he was treated as expendable and used as leverage rather than protected.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman.
Regarding the lawsuit Jaguar mentioned, reports began circulating months ago, shortly before Bryce launched his online platform, claiming he was preparing a $50 million legal case against Diddy. The rumor originated from a blind item suggesting that a male victim was getting ready to come forward against a powerful industry figure, with the possibility that others might follow. While claims involving Diddy and Will Smith no longer shocked the public the way they once did, what surprised many was Terrence Howard's statement that he had nearly been placed in a similar situation himself. According to Terrence, Bryce was not the only person who was approached. He said he also experienced interactions that went beyond normal professional boundaries. This drew attention because Terrence has always spoken openly about his personal values and limits, and he emphasized that no career opportunity would ever cause him to compromise them. Terrence explained that he once received a call from Diddy, who said he wanted advice related to an acting role. Whether such a role actually existed remains unclear. Terrence said that after he arrived, it became evident that the discussion was not truly about acting, and that the situation began to move in a direction he felt was inappropriate.
When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So
Terrence said that once he understood what was being suggested, he ended contact right away. He also claimed that even after pulling away, other people in the industry later approached him with similar offers, implying professional opportunities in exchange for inappropriate personal access. During one of these encounters, Bryce Shear's name reportedly came up, and comments Terrence made about it later became the subject of public controversy.
Hold them down because he was like, Charlie Mack is not going to be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I arrived in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know, Will, me, you know, Diddy made me suck it. You know what's going on. You know, Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo,
He spoke about the idea of losing your manhood, explaining it as giving up one's sense of self, boundaries, and dignity in exchange for fear, pressure, or personal gain. He said that when someone allows themselves to be pushed into situations they know are wrong, they can lose a part of their identity and inner strength, and that this kind of loss can be deeply damaging on a spiritual and emotional level. He added that people who believed they could compromise themselves without consequences were often later controlled or manipulated by those with greater power and influence. In his view, no opportunity or ambition should ever outweigh a person's self-respect or core values.